So today, watch fans, we're going to be looking at the beginner's guide to buying your first Rolex. So good day watch fans, and today we're going to be looking at a guide to buying your first Rolex. So the models I'm going to be looking at today are going to be under £20,000. Now I know Rolexes go all the way up to hundreds of thousands of pounds, they can do, but today we're going to be looking at beginners buying guide, especially mainly now for your first watch. Now a £20,000 window is probably the most average window somebody's going to be spending on their first Rolex purchase or their first watch. Now I know there are exceptions to the rule, but that is what I'm going to be looking at today. Now the prices I am looking at and where I've taken a lot of these models from and the prices, because I want to sort of use a watch trader that's selling watches at the moment and the current market under current prices and models that are currently available. So I'm using watchtrader.co.uk. Very big fan of their channel and very big fan of their work, so I'm going to be using their sort of platform and their website and their prices as a bit of a guide now today. So the first things you need to consider when you want to purchase your first Rolex: you might be purchasing it to celebrate something, you might be purchasing it as an achievement, you might have just saved up your money and it might be something you've always longed for, you might just really want a nice new watch. Now there's a few things you've got to consider when you're buying, and that number one is going to be the price range you're looking to buy in. So cost dictates everything. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Don't be getting yourself into debt now over a Rolex. Don't be getting yourself into debt over a watch. Save up for it, buy it, own it, enjoy it. Make sure now that this is a purchase you can afford. So have a look at what you're willing to spend or what you can spend, and that's going to dictate severely what models you can get. But you might be surprised in what you can get with some of the budgets. The second thing now you need to consider is what models you like. So my best advice would be buy a watch that is drawn to you. One that you look at and you think, wow, that is something I want. Don't just be buying any old watch because you think, oh, I really want a Submariner, but I can only afford an Air King at the minute, so I'm just going to get the Air King, so I want a Rolex, because you won't enjoy that watch. You'll just be yearning for the watch that you really want, and eventually you'll end up selling that watch, trading it in, spending the extra money that you could have saved up for and buy the watch you originally wanted. So most of the time the watch that you really want or you originally want is the one that you'll end up buying. So have a look through now at some different Rolex models, look and see which ones stand out for you. Don't consider price maybe at this point, just look at say 3 or 4 models that stand out to you and you think, yes, they're the ones for me. Now once you've decided what models you sort of like, then it's time now to see if you can afford them or what sort of range or price range they're in. So when we're looking now at the sort of price brackets, we've got up to 10,000, between 10,000 and 15,000, and then 15 to 20,000. So if you're looking to spend under £10,000 on a Rolex, you can still get some of the models that you really want, but you might have to sort of be going for an older model. So in this sort of up to 10,000 price range, you're going to be looking at things like Datejusts, older model Datejusts, 36mm model Datejusts. You can pick up some pre-ceramic Submariners in this price range. You can pick up some older subs, you can be picking up some Explorers, the 36mm, some Oyster Perpetuals depending on colour. You can pick up some 36mm in this price range. You can get quite a lot of very, very good watches. Again, Air Kings are another model that you're going to find in this price range. So I'm going to put up on the screen some of the models in this price range now off the website, so as you can see me scrolling through it, you can look now at some of the models that are going to be available at that price. Now as you can see, there's some older model Datejusts. There's some Air Kings, again some older model Air Kings, you're going to be looking at like the £5,000 price range. Some Oyster Perpetuals with 36mm. You're also going to be looking at some Datejusts now, some older model Datejusts. A lot of them now going to be smooth bevel Datejusts. You tend to find the fluted bezel tend to hold a little bit more of a premium. Also you're going to notice that a lot of the straps are going to be Oyster straps now. The Jubilee tends to be a slightly pricier strap. You tend to find that on slightly more expensive models. But that's not to say you won't be able to pick up a good deal. Again, we can see some older Submariner dates now, so 2008 model, up to about £10,000. Now when we're going from 10,000 to 20,000, so 10,000 to £15,000 now, this is where we're going to be getting our newer model Submariners. This is where we're going to be picking up our Starbucks. This is where we're going to be picking up our Yachtmasters. We'll be picking up our Explorer 2s. This is where we're going to be picking up our Datejust models, the newer models. This is where we're going to start to see a lot of models now, the Datejust with the Jubilee strap or the Jubilee bracelet. So you're going to also notice that there's going to be newer models with more fluted bezels. As you can see now, I've put on the screen a few of the models that are available. So as you can see, we're looking now at that 10,000 to 15,000 price mark. We've got some older Sea Dwellers. We've got some newer Datejusts. We've got more Datejust 41s now. We've got some Explorer 2s. We've also got some bimetal models creeping in. So we've got some bimetal Datejusts, again in the Oyster and in the Jubilee bands. We've got some of the discontinued Milgauses. We also have some newer model Submariners coming through. You also got in there, like I said, we've got some Yachtmasters. We've got a bimetal GMT. We got the bimetal now Datejust, a lot of Jubilee fluted bezel Datejust coming through. Some 2023 models coming through. We've got a Sea Dweller 23 model. We can also see a Yachtmaster 2 with the old version hands. We also have Submariner bimetal. We have some Submariner Starbucks now in there at the higher range, the £14,000 mark. We do actually have a Batgirl now in there at £14,000, so just under the £15,000 price range. I thought this would have been a little bit higher, but we are seeing some Batman models, GMTs with the Oyster bracelet, under £15,000. Now, as we look on to the £15,000 to £20,000 price range, this is where we're going to be starting to see our Pepsis. This is where we're going to be starting to see our steel Sky Dwellers. This is where we're going to start seeing some of our older Daytona models, some of the older bimetal models, and some of the pre-ceramic models. This is where we're going to be seeing our Submariner Hulks. So the models that you're going to start seeing now are slightly higher end models, but again, some of them are going to be older versions of these higher end models. So again, I'm going to have a look on the website now so you can start seeing some of the models for yourself, what is being sold and what prices they're being sold at. So as we start looking now at the £15,000 mark, the Sea Dweller Deep Sea, we've got the Submariner Bluesy. We've got, again, some 23 models there. We have got the Daytonas, again, bimetal, an older model. We're seeing the Steel and Rose Root Beers now at this price range. Again, like I said, the Sky Dwellers, a couple of bimetal Sky Dwellers. Some of the not as desirable models now for under £20,000. We got the Hulks there coming in at 17 to 18,000. Again, the newer model Root Beers now, Steel and Rose. Starting to see the Sprites as well. Also, we've got the All Gold Submariner now. Again, an old model, but still it is in there. We've also got the Oyster Perpetual Tiffany Blue Dial, a very sought after dial now, coming in at under £20,000. When we're seeing now, we've got a Sky Dweller with a Jubilee bracelet there, a 21 model for under £20,000. We've also got the new GMT Master 2. Some people have called it the Guinness. So this now is with the steel and gold Jubilee bracelet with the grey and black bezel. Again, that's a great buy for under £20,000 for a brand new release model. And then at the £20,000 mark, we have got an older Daytona, a pre-ceramic steel bezel Daytona. Now, if you're looking to buy something at a higher price range, I will do another video on this, but as you can see, there's a lot of options now for you. So my biggest advice would be sort of know what price range you're looking for, know what watches you are drawn to. Now, with a lot of these watches, the year doesn't make a huge amount of difference. A lot of them now are very similar over the years. So if you look at a Submariner, it hasn't changed a lot over the years. If you look at the ceramic Submariners, there are slight changes to the case sizes and how they look very slightly, but in general the watch is going to look very similar across the board. If you're looking at a pre-ceramic model, obviously there are some differences then because the bezel is a different material. With the Datejust, a lot of the Datejust over the last few years, again, very similar. So if you wanted the brand new 2023 model, you are going to be paying more of a premium, but you can get a very similar looking model for a couple of years older for a lot less money. Now, don't let that deter you. Go for the watch you want. If it's a 2023 model Datejust, let that be the watch that you save up for. Again, just keep saving until you get the money to buy the watch you want. But as a beginner and somebody who's looking to get into the Rolex market and looking to buy their first watch, knowing what you want is probably one of the biggest things. Most people now try and rush to get a watch. They want a Rolex, they want to buy the watch, and they go, right, I'll have any Rolex, because in their head they go in, right, they can make money, I'm going to make some money on this, I'll just buy anyone because I want a Rolex. But the problem with that is you're going to then regret that purchase because it's not going to be something that you really, really want. Then you're going to just be thinking forward to the next watch. You want your first watch to be one that you look at and you enjoy and potentially you hold on forever because it means something. You're buying it for a reason. It's your first Rolex purchase. So as you can see now, there's a lot of options. So the first thing, like I said, to consider, price point. Understand that your price point in the market and what watches are available. Know what model you want and then look for it and enjoy it once you've purchased it. Like I said, there's a lot of models now. No matter what model you want, there's models at different price ranges. You can get a Submariner under 10k, you can get a Submariner between 10 and 15k. So you can get it at any price point. The thing that dictates it is, does that model draw to you, and is that model one that you want? So hopefully today that's given you a bit of an idea of sort of the price points and what Rolexes you can get at these different sort of markers, and especially if you're looking to get into your first watch. This is now for the grey market, obviously, not retail. Hopefully this is a little bit of a helping hand and you can see where to go and what models are available at those prices. Thank you, please like and subscribe.